In the shimmering blue depths of the ocean, where sunlight tenderly fades into haunting twilight, there lurks an unsettling spectacle that betrays the serene beauty above. Picture a dolphin, once a symbol of grace and intelligence, now a living canvas of pain and rot. On its sleek, smooth skin is a grotesque wound, a festering crater that invites both morbid curiosity and scientific scrutiny. This is no ordinary injury. This is a battleground, a colony of unwelcome invaders that have transformed a majestic creature into a nightmarish host. The wound is a gaping abyss, riddled with clusters of mussels, relentless little marauders whose sharp, jagged shells cram into every crevice of the flesh, embedding themselves with a ruthless efficiency. Imagine the sensation, if you dare, the scraping of hard shells against tender tissue, the relentless spread of irritation, the slow gnawing erosion beneath what was once resilient skin. These mussels are not merely hitchhikers. They are parasitic squatters, thriving on the dolphin's vulnerability, exploiting its compromised state. Their presence is a testament to decay, a sign that something has gone profoundly wrong in this underwater world. Mussel infestation in dolphins is a stark reminder of nature's brutal impartiality. These bivalves attach themselves to surfaces, filtering water for nutrition, but in this twisted scenario, they latch onto living flesh, compounding injury with infection. The wound itself might have been caused by a predator, a collision with a boat, or a territorial fight, circumstances that may seem random, but are intensified by human interference. What follows is a grotesque symbiosis. The dolphin suffers, weakened and vulnerable, while the mussels thrive in its injury, anchoring themselves firmly and expanding their death-trap colony under in the stark, icy expanse of the Arctic, where the sun barely pierces the endless twilight. A polar bear lumbers through the snow, a majestic creature of the wild. But today, this magnificent beast bears a horrific secret. A honeycomb wound, grotesque and raw, festers on its flank. The sight is shocking, a stark reminder of nature's brutal realities. This wound, resembling a gaping mouth, is not merely a mark of injury. It is a gateway to a world of suffering, a canvas painted with the dark strokes of survival. As the camera zooms in, the details become horrifyingly clear. The flesh around the wound is mottled and inflamed, a gruesome testament to the relentless march of infection. But the true horror lies beneath the surface. The polar bear, once a symbol of strength and resilience, is now a host to a barnacle infestation. These tiny crustaceans, typically found clinging to rocks and ships, have made a home on the bear's wounded skin. They burrow into the flesh, their hard shells contrasting sharply with the soft, vulnerable tissue beneath. Each barnacle, in the shadowed realm of the African wilderness, where legends of majestic beasts roam free, there exists a creature both rare and haunting, an alabaster specter of the savanna known as the white lion. But beneath its ghostly white mane and piercing gaze lies a grim tale, a stark reminder of nature's relentless cruelty and the underbelly of survival. Here is a lion, not in its prime glory, but a beast ravaged by an infestation so gruesome it stains even the purest visage, a horrific insect wound, festering and pulsing with unseen abhorrence. This gaping lesion, carved into the lion's flesh, is a grotesque hive teeming with hordes of tiny invaders, carnivorous insects that have burrowed into its skin, their spindly legs and serrated mandibles shredding tissue with merciless efficiency. In this morbid tableau, the white lion's wound is a living, breathing cesspool, a nightmare painted in crimson and oozing pus, the product of nature's indifferent design and the microscopic armies that feast upon decay. The insects, opportunistic and blind to the lion's stature, crawl deep into the flesh, laying eggs that hatch into larvae, which in turn consume the lion's flesh from the inside out. Flickering shadows of flies and beetles constantly swarm this battlefield, drawn by the scent of blood and death. Their relentless gnawing tears away at the lion's strength, injecting bacteria that spark infections, transforming the injury into a foul-smelling necrotic wound. Each twitch of the lion's body echoes the unyielding battle between predator and parasite, a haunting reminder that even the apex predator is not immune to the smallest horror of nature. This phenomenon is a brutal demonstration of insect infestation, a biological siege that offers no respite. Insects such as botflies, flesh flies, and various species of biting flies target weakened or injured animals, exploiting vulnerable spots to propagate their species. Botflies, for instance, lay eggs on the edges of wounds or in areas the host cannot reach, And when the larvae hatch, they dig into tissue, triggering a painful and festering condition known as myiasis. For the white lion, the precious white fur is stained with a detritus of this grotesque infestation. Scabs, dried blood, and the ceaseless wriggling of larvae beneath the surface betray a silent, invisible war. The cycle of infestation thrives in this ecosystem, where death and decay fuel life. In the heart of an unyielding wilderness, a bison trudges forward, its gait heavy, burdened by an unseen horror festering upon its once proud frame. This is not the majestic beast we imagine roaming freely. Beneath its thick fur lies a grotesque spectacle, a wasp nest, pulsating with life, embedded deep into its flanks. The raw wound, swollen and scarlet, ripples unnervingly as hundreds of wasps crawl in and out like a sinister harbor bustling with merciless invaders. It's a scene that both captivates and repels, an unsettling testament to nature's brutal indifference and the complexity of life's survival strategies. These wasps, relentless architects of decay, have claimed this vast animal as their living colony. Unlike the usual environment of bark or hollow trees, they have chosen flesh as their foundation, drilling into the bison's skin to create a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers. Each sting introduces venom, slowly breaking down tissue and inviting infection. The bison's body fights back with its immune response, swelling and oozing. But this only creates a richer environment for the wasps, who thrive amid the moist rock. It's a grisly partnership of predator and host, where the line between victim and habitat blurs into a grotesque parody of coexistence. Wasp infestations such as this happen when wounds are left open and unattended, or when weakened immune systems fail to repel invaders. The air buzzes with the wasp's activity, a chaotic drone that underscores the visceral cycle of damage and repair, attack and defense. These insects are both engineers and executioners, carving out spaces in tissue that would horrify any observer. Their larval young are nurtured within this gruesome nursery,